You're good.
Okay, sorry.
Today, I will be informing you about the history of superheroes in comic books. Okay, you see this picture right here? It's just a regular picture of a man with a top hat. Okay, look at the second picture. It's kind of similar, but it's just a picture, just a regular drawing. When you put them together, your brain makes it seem as if it's movement. And that's exactly what happens in comic books. From one panel to the next, your brain sees movement and decides that something has happened. The very first comic book that had superheroes in it was Superman, which came out in 1938. It was Action Comics #1. It was by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, who were from Cleveland, Ohio. Superman was someone who made the way for other superheroes and kind of started off the golden age. Next we have Batman, who was Detective Comics #27. He was modeled after The Shadow and The Bat. It was a movie of the time. He was someone that was unlike Superman. He didn't have any powers. All he had was just a costume and his hard work ethic. I would have to say that Captain Marvel was the top selling of that year of World War II. He was a little boy named Billy Batson, who, when he said the magic word Shazam, turned into a big adult who had superpowers, named Captain Marvel. It drew in little boys especially because they could see this little boy who instantly became a giant man and could help people, and that was something that they wished they could do during World War II, especially when all they could do was really stay at home. During World War II, sales of comics really skyrocketed because people needed an escape, and comics gave that to them. They were something that was cheap, portable, and patriotic. For example, Captain America was created simply for the purpose of helping our country's war effort. His stories showed that good could triumph over evil. See, even this photo up here was met with some criticism because it showed Captain America punching Hitler in the face, and many people were not okay with that, and there were death threats sent, but the publishers didn't care and did it anyway. And it's now been a well-known staple of World War II in comic books. Next we have the Spirit, who was created in 1940. Like I said before, he was someone that helped Batman come into play, because he was also someone who simply had a mask and his own wits about him. It was something that had gentle humor, but also different characters, something that many people could relate to. Next we have, in 1942, The Year of the Woman. That was for DC a big year for them. It was their first female character that girls could relate to and actually see. It was made by a psychologist who was in charge of different parts of the women's movement, so he wanted her to have the same aspects as well. In 1956, many comic book companies ran into some trouble, and most of them went out of business. These 5 are the only ones, the major ones at least, that still stayed in publication, and actually some of their business went up because some of the companies that had to close sell them their superheroes that they still had. The one thing that started them to be able to increase their sales a little bit better than they had before and start to bring new companies into play was the creation of Showcase #4, which Flash was created in the 40s, but in this one, they brought him back in a different costume and revitalized him. And then this was something that other companies started doing as well. They brought back old characters that they had made in the 40s but hadn't really done much with. And it was something that was a big moneymaker because some of the people that were now reading comic books were not as familiar with these characters. So this was a new way for them to start off and understand their stories. Next, we have another female superhero, someone else that girls could look up to. Supergirl came into play in Action Comics #252 in 1959. She was Superman's cousin. She ran for about 25 years in different titles. And like I said, she was interesting to both boys and girls because in some cases she was always in romantic stories, so then it appealed to both. In 1960, DC finally had enough superheroes to create a team, so they, in Brave and the Bold number 128, they made Justice League, which was made up of Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Martian Manhunter. But after their success, Marvel got jealous. They decided they wanted their own success. So Jack Kirby and Stan Lee created Fantastic Four. And also, DC went back and wanted their own too. But Captain America was reborn in 1964. He was the last of his 40s characters but still had not been brought back. But he was a big moneymaker for them because it was the last one that had not been done in a long time. But also, DC and Marvel, yes, they were the major publishers, but they were not the ones that were the top selling comic at the time. However, in 1970, the top selling comic was Archie, who sold over 500,000 copies per issue. Another interesting fact is after a lawsuit from Marvel against DC in 1973, Captain Marvel had to change his name to Shazam. But overall, Marvel and DC over the years have created new characters, made new TV shows, there's movies, there's also obviously books, all kinds of different things. I mean, it's growing and expanding. Obviously, I mean, you can buy notebooks and things to turn your keychain. I mean, all kinds of stuff. It's expanding every day. It seems to be getting bigger and bigger. It doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. It seems like there's some sort of comic memorabilia in every household